There was a kingdom of female elves, and it was ruled by female high elves. Then the dark elves serves as their knight. The main character was a human in their kingdom, but he thought that he was a defective elf with short ears. Then he was forced to live in the woods outside the kingdom, because the elves are racist. Meanwhile, the elf princess was taking a bath in the river. The main character accidentally discovered the princess. So, the elf princess screamed from embarrassment. The dark elf knight confronted the main character, and she immediately cut him without listening to his explanation, because women are always right. After that, the main character woke up inside a cave. Then an elf witch was massaging his legendary sword, and her face became the landing zone of white explosions. The main character was healed by the witch, and she told the main character that he was a human. Then she explained that humans exist to give 9 months inflation to female elves. She pulled a magical ring, and this ring will give him the legendary unlimited stamina. So, the main character can now create an unlimited magical white explosion. Then the main character's legendary sword was standing straight again. The witch volunteered to test his powers, and she was sacrificing her tunnel of enlightenment. She was now receiving the rod of destruction, so she cannot hold back from reaching her maximum excitement. Then the main character deposited the forbidden sauce. After that, they went to the Elven Plaza, and the main character used his mind control powers to go into a clapping spree. A couple of minutes later, the Dark Elf Knight came to the rescue. However, it was too late, and the creamy white magic have been planted to every elf lady around the area. Suddenly, the main character used his mind control on the Dark Elf. Then the Dark Elf dropped her sword, and she was put in a surrendering position. The witch told the main character about her genius idea of interrogation. So, the main character used hypnosis to make the Dark Elf reveal her identity. The witch was giving the Dark Elf a special massage while asking about the location of the princess and the queen. However, the Dark Elf have a strong fighting spirit, and she is not answering their question. So, the main character joined forces with the witch in giving the Dark Elf a helping hand. Then the Dark Elf became a water sprinkler. Their joined forces was no match for the Dark Elf, and she was still keeping her mouth shut. Therefore, the main character was now clapping the melons from her dark continent. Then the witch used her magical wand to play with the entrance of the Dark Elf dungeon. The main character coated the face of the Dark Elf with his magical white sauce, and the Dark Elf's mind became unstable, so she revealed the location of the princess and the queen. Then the main character used his mind control to order the Dark Elf not to stop them. The cultural villains went to the throne room of the Elven Castle, and they greeted the princess and the queen. Then the witch introduced the main character as a human male. The princess don't know what is a human, because the queen was keeping that classified information. The main character was trying to mind control the princess. However, the queen shielded her daughter, so the queen was now under the mind control effect. Then the witch used her magic to hold the princess to prevent her from interrupting the cultural rituals. The queen started the cultural ritual by doing the Gulp Gulp 3000, and she was worshipping the main character's legendary sword. Then the main character fed the queen with his forbidden sauce, and she was appreciating the unholy flavor. After that, the queen rides on the Iron Pegasus, and the main character filled the queen with his creamy white magic. Then it was now the turn of the princess. So, the queen spread the sacred gate of the princess to invite the visitor. The main character used his mind control on the princess, and the princess was now begging for the legendary sword. Then the main character used his legendary sword to tear apart the seal of purity. The clapping ritual was performed, and it was a new experience unlocked for the princess. Eventually, the main character deposited a massive amount of his colored white powers. After that, the main character used his mind control to order the queen and princess to serve his legendary sword daily. The next day, the queen was providing her special service to the main character. However, the main character was not satisfied, so he used his mind control to make her level up her gameplay. Then the queen was doing the level 100 Gulp Gulp 3000. Suddenly, the princess arrived, and she was mad, because the queen was getting a head start. Therefore, the princess joined in their daily morning routine, and they were harvesting fresh milk using melons. In the next scenario, the witch was giving the main character a morning salutation, and her method was vacuum cleaning his weapon. Eventually, the witch received her warm fresh milk, and she was savoring every single drop. Then the witch explained her goals, and she wanted the main character to make the queen and princess mind controlled, so the kingdom would collapse. Later that day, the main character went to the throne room, and he ordered the queen for some cultural ritual. Then the queen was doing her administrative duties while riding on the Iron Pegasus in front of her servants, and her servants felt embarrassed while talking to their clapping queen. Suddenly, the main character was using his rod of destruction. Then the queen lost her composure, and her concentration went to the clapping ritual. Meanwhile, her servants felt the rising temperature in their system. So, the servants were not able to hold back, and they used their finger to strum their guitar. The queen enjoyed having viewers, so the main character gave her a big bang white explosion. One day, the main character brought the princess to the busy plaza to increase her bravery in public. Then the main character used his mind control to command the princess to do a public exhibition, so the princess was unboxing herself. The audience was shocked with that sudden display, and the main character used his mind control on the audience to make them into an open-minded person, and watch their exhibition parade. Then the princess awakened a new type of culture, and the underground tunnel was leaking from too much happiness. Suddenly, the main character commanded the princess to answer the call of Mother Nature. Then the main character flexed his legendary sword to the princess for motivation, and she was giving him a helping hand. The main character created a white explosion, and the princess created the golden fountain. In the dungeon, the dark elf was imprisoned, because her strong willpower was resisting the mind control. Therefore, the main character will personally train the dark elf. Then the main character suddenly attack her back door, because she don't have any backdoor protection. The main character was using his rod of destruction, and the dark elf was getting weakened by the main character's legendary sword. Then the main character dumped his overflowing forbidden sauce in her sewage system. In the next scenario, the main character brought the princess to the queen to show off the cultural progress of the princess. However, the main character will let the queen join too, because the more the merrier. Then the queen and princess exposed their private territory, and they were inviting the main character to come to this exclusive destination. The main character was doing the clapping ritual with the princess using his one and only legendary sword. Therefore, he uses his helping hand to the queen to comfort her back door. Then the princess received her share of creamy magic milk. The main character proceeded to the queen, and he was drilling her backyard garden. Then the queen made her daughter watch for educational purposes. Eventually, the main character used his unlimited stamina to keep on sharing his overflowing creamy unholy sauce. After that, the princess and the queen were ordered by the main character to wear a cultured outfit that have an easy clapping access. Then the princess and the queen performed a squatting position, and they were chanting using the cultural language. Because of that, the main character's sword was awakened, and he started the clapping ritual with the princess. After that, he was also doing the clapping ritual with the queen. Then he gave the two ladies his magical white sauce. The witch brought the dark elf to the throne room to join the cultural party. Then the main character used his mind control ability to the dark elf. Meanwhile, the queen and the princess were now broken, and they were now in obedient slaves to the main character. So, the dark elf promised that she will save them. However, everything was going smoothly according to the evil plans of the witch. That's the end of this cultural anime recap. Moral lesson of the story: don't be a racist, or you might create a villain. Anyways, here is your special forbidden sauce, and please limit it to the culturally matured people only, and thank you for watching.